So in our last class, we studied up to, keep last class, come. Barriers of communication, right? So today we will start with control. So when we talk about control, what do you understand? Control word to hunile ki buja? Any idea? Yeah. Like we try to control the behavior so that the things are in accordance with what we want. Jitu hobo lage he mote hobo lage tar bahirot hobo na lage, okay? That is called control in general sense what we understand. So in management also controlling is a very important function. Hunisane sobe? So why is controlling important? Controlling kyo dorkar management? তোমালকে বস্তুবোৰ নামনে একদম simplified নিজৰ understanding or পৰা ভাবা. Don't go through bookish language. Just try to express what you understand. So controlling management at kyo dorkar? Why do we need controlling in management? Yeah, so that what are the মানে আমাৰ যিখিনি objectives থাকে সেইখিনি যাতে fulfill হয়. We need to control things because if there is any deviation, then it might result in wastage. Efforts bur ene jabo, hoy ne? Because when we try to fulfill our objectives in the organization, what we do a lot of planning. Or he planner mote jodi bostu khini nohoy, if it deviates from the standard plans which we have made, then there is a loss of the efforts of the individuals, financial loss hobo pare, resources or wastage hobo pare, time besi lagibo, cost will also go up, right? So we need to control. Okay, control the what? Control what? Control ki control korim ami? Human behavior we will control. We will control the processes. We will control the plans. We will control policies, the objectives, everything. Everything. Controlling is applicable to everywhere and it is a what? It is the very essence of management. Gutte khini jikhini tumar amar functions thake sobote ami controlling koribo laga hoy, right? Keneke slide to bodli gol. So control refers to the task of ensuring that the activities are producing the preset targets or goals. Jikhini ami already targets set korisu, hekhini ami fulfill hobole karone controlling is a very important task or a function, right? Controlling is aimed at monitoring the outcomes of activities, reviewing the feedback information about this outcome, and if necessary, taking corrective steps or actions. Likhibole dorkar nai ekhini bostu kitabote ase. The slides are directly the lines from your textbook. If something apart from this slides moi jodi kiba poha moi tumalkok nije kom likhilwa boli. Some difficult terms or something like that moi nije koi dim tumalkok likhibole, okay? So controlling at ami ki koro, we try to measure the performance with the set standards. Aru standard or mote jodi nohoy, then what we do, we take the corrective measures. Aru ako ami check koru je ami ji mote ami standard set korisu he mote objectives kini fulfill hoise ne nai. If not, jodi amar sales target ase 1000 trousers in a day, ami jodi pora nai, suppose we are able to make only 500 trousers in a company, manufacturing company. Titia ami ki sam? Say how we can improve our efficiency. Where are the loopholes kot ase? Hoine? And we will have to try to find out the problem to kot hoy ase. Whether there is a lack of manpower kom hoise, the machinery where the clothes are being manufactured, whether there is a problem in the process handling, tools at kiba difficulty hoise, whether there is kot bane problem to hoise, we will try to find it out. So in that way, we will do the controlling. We'll try to find out the deviation, the problem. We will try to find out the problem. Why it is arising, we'll try to find out, and we will try to take the corrective actions by checking with the set standards and then trying to rectify the mistakes. Okay, that is an example of your controlling. So controlling, or definition by Coons and O'Donnell, he gives the definition as managerial control implies the management of accomplishment against the standard and the correction of deviations to assure attainment of objectives according to plans. Next, the steps kita diya ase tumar establishment of the standards. Standards mane whatever we do, obviously there will be some set targets. Okay? Jodi sales koru, sales or target thakibo. Jodi kiba tumar jodi kiba manufacture korisu tat tumar target thakibo. Kiba production korisu tatu kiba set targets thakibo. Hoine kiban khini units of production we need to transport, or sob bostute tumalkor amar eta set target thakibo, he mote hoise ne nai ami sabo lagibo, right? So first is the establishment of the standards, and standards are used to control the objectives. Then we will measure the actual performance with and compare it with the set standard, right? The third is you're comparing the actual performance with the standard and then taking corrective actions, okay? Next, this is from your previous topic, communication, okay? Communication to effective hobole karone, what are the things that are required? So, the first step is fostering interpersonal trust. Trust thakibo lagibo, hoine, for the communication to be effective, because when something is communicated, if the other person doesn't trust you, then he will not take the next action. Hoine? Moi jodi kiba eta kaam koribole kau, or you do not have the trust in me, then you will never do, right? Similar is the case in the organization. When the senior members, they give some orders to the subordinates, there must always be the relationship of trust between the manager and the subordinates. The next is you regulate the flow of information. The flow of information should be what? In a proper manner. From whom? Flow of information to kenuka hoy? Organization. It can be in all ways, from top to bottom, from bottom to up. Jodi problem to taller level at hoy, then it should be communicated to the higher order managers so that they can look into the matter and find out the solution. So flow of information will be in all directions, not only from top to bottom or from bottom to up. It can be in the within the same department, within the different departments of the same level. It can be from top to bottom or from top to up, right? Next is have feedback, both verbal and non-verbal. So communication ki hoy ketiaba ki hoy problems arise kore no, arise korile you need to communicate those problems, then only the solutions can be found out, right? It can be either verbally or it can be in written, because some things are more valuable when you give in writing, when in a formal organization. If you want to apply for leave, orally kole hobo jano? No. You have to give a formal letter or an application to your reporting officer, right? Next is simplifying language. The language should be very simple. Next is effective listening. Listening is also a part of your communication. Dhyan se attention di pale hunibo lagibo. Next is your see the emotions so that they do not cloud and distort the message. Okay? So, how will you control your emotions in some difficult situations? Like, tomorrow there is a presentation in your office, and you are the main presenter. And depending on your presentation, the deal between the company and its stakeholders will take place. And you just came to know before 1 hour of the presentation or half an hour of the presentation that your immediate family member has expired. How will you control your emotions? And that project is very important for the company. So how will you control your emotions? So that is a part of your effective communication. You know, you are required at your home. You are the only son in your family. Your immediate someone has expired, and this presentation is also very important. So how will you deal with that situation, right? So these things are very important in communication. You need to control your emotions. You are in what? In a very difficult position, but you need to control your emotions and make yourself understand that you need to control your emotions for at least an hour, be calm, because whatever has happened has already happened. You cannot change the situation at your home. But if you do not present well, then what will happen? The company might be at loss. You have prepared it so well, but there will be a guilt feeling later on that why you didn't present, right? So at that moment, you need to control your emotions. Next is you understand the non-verbal cues. Non-verbal cues means some actions which are indicative of some communication. Hator, gar, bhas, hator actions, all these things, okay? Which are not spoken, but it will obviously communicate something. I think I have taught this slide in your last class. Next is your coordination. Coordination is also a very common term. So coordination mane, any idea? Huni thaku no, ami horure pra huni asu no, coordination. Coordinate the things. Coordinate your actions with what you speak. Hoine? So, ki? Cooperation and coordination are a lot of difference. Coordination is? Yeah. Coordination is your what? Orderly synchronization of efforts towards the fulfillment of the objectives. How the things will be done in a smooth manner, in a coordinated manner. That means, Tumalko bhagat question? Sometimes we fall short of words, right? So, what is coordination? Again, I'm asking you. In your language, if you have anything else to communicate the word. So, বস্তুবোৰ মানে ধুনিয়াকে arrange kora, mingle kora, so that the things are being done in a smooth manner, right? Let's go to the formal definition what is given in your textbook. Coordination is a process which ensures smooth interplay of the functions of management. Common objectives are achieved without much wastage of time, efforts and money with the help of coordination, and it is not a separate function of management. Beleg eta function nohoy. Coordination is present in all the functions of management. What are the primary functions of management? Ki asile? First function ki asile? First function of management? Planning. Then organizing. Then staffing. Then directing. Then controlling. In all the steps you see, there needs to be coordination. That means the activities needs to be done in a synchronized order so that the efforts of the subordinates are directed towards the fulfillment of the objectives. Buzi paisa? All managers seek to achieve coordination through its basic functions of management. Coordination is an integral element of all the managerial functions. It is the hidden force that binds all the other functions of management. and it keeps the team together. At a team jete kaam koru, we see that there is a good coordination among the people. Right? Next, what are the features of coordination? Features bur ki hoy? So, moi je koislu coordination aru cooperation ar majot eta difference ase. This coordination is something which everyone needs to abide. Okay, but cooperate tumalke koribo para ba nokoribo para. Okay? This is your voluntary action. Cooperate tumi koribo para. I am teaching you, you might cooperate with my teaching, you might not. Tumalke monojog di hunibo para, in that case you are cooperating with me. No? Then things become smooth, but coordination denekwa nohoy. Coordination is, it must happen. Bujisa? Mane coordination to tumar hoboi lagibo. But cooperation or khetrot, you might cooperate or you might not cooperate. Hoine? There's a slight difference. Then functions of coordination, it is not a separate function, but the very essence of management. I'm just reading out the slides because this is very easy. G2 point moi bhabo ki this needs explanation, that I'll explain, okay? It is the basic responsibility of the management to coordinate the things, okay? To coordinate the plans, the actions among the various departments. Because ami organization to coordination or khetrot ki boli bhabo, we think about the organization as a system, where there are different subsystems. Systems approach boli pohislo no eta approach of management. Yet coordination or khetrot, what we think about the organization is, we think about it as a system where different departments are what? Should act in coordination with one another. Because jetia eta project eta organization eta dia hoy, all the departments are actively involved. Hoy ne? Kiba eta bostu jodi tumar bonabo dia hoy. Right from procurement of the raw materials to manufacturing to tumar manufacture kora agot je raw materials kini purchase koribo lagibo, so purchase department lagibo, finance department lagibo to pass out the what? Tenders to procure the raw materials, tapisot manufacture war pisot logistic department lagibo to transport the goods to the what? To those places where it needs to be delivered. Ako jodi marketing lage, tetia hole marketing team will also get involved, and marketing team or logot ako sales team will also be involved. So things go in a coordinated manner, right? Next is the heart of coordination is unity of action or purpose. Everyone's purpose should be the same. That is why it is said that the objectives of the organization should be very clear to every individual. So, bore clear thakibo lagibo je what is the objective. Okay? Because some organizations you see their objective is profit oriented. But kisuman sub organization to profit to nasai, there are some non-profit organizations also, NGOs kisuman ase which are more towards the social work. Hoine? It requires group efforts and not in individual effort. Coordination ketia lage amak? When there are more than one member or more than one department. Okol department no, department tor bhitor to coordination lage, but it will jodi okol ejon manu hoy, then we do not require coordination because he will do everything alone. He did not consult with others, right? Next is it has a common purpose of getting organizational objectives accomplished. Common objective, and it is necessary at all levels of organization, right? Next, it is a system concept. Majitu koisu. Okay? Clear? Any doubt? Next are the principles of coordination. Coordination hobole kiki principles ba guidelines lage. Okay? What are the guiding principles for your coordination? First is your principle of early stage. The word early stage, it says that ekdom first step pote ami coordination lagibo. That means during the planning process itself, if things are done in a coordinated manner, later there will not be any problem, right? Coordination can be achieved more easily in early stages of planning and policy making. Plans should be based on mutual participation. Early coordination also improves the quality of plans. This is simple. Next is principle of continuity. Continuity means planning is, coordination is a continuous process, right? Third is your principle of direct contact. That means for coordination, there should be direct contact between those members who are coordinating the activities. Next is your principle of reciprocal relationship. Reciprocal relationship means when generally when you coordinate that, let me make you the term reciprocal relations first, make you understand. Reciprocal relationship means tumar the decisions which are taken by the senior members, it will not only have the effect on one member or his subordinates only, but the whole organization, right? It has a rippling effect, or so mane jikono eta decision e bahut khini manuhok prabhav pelai, right? So that is called as reciprocal relations. So jetia coordination kora hoy tetia hole jodi coordinate, if the activities are coordinated properly, then it will have a rippling effect, or it will affect the other members also. So coordination should be done properly. Soboke effect kore. All in a given situation are interdependent and interrelated. When people appreciate reciprocity of relation, they avoid unilateral action and coordination becomes easier. Unilateral action means in one direction, right? Next is your principle of effective communication. And last is your principle of clarity of objectives. Okay? Objectives should be clear to one and all. The next topic is your collaboration. Collaboration is collaborate kora boli ami hono no. Many companies, they collaborate with one another. What is that? Yes, they come together to make a deal. Why? Why do companies or organizations collaborate? Okay, but generally collaborate kyo kora hoy? Because companies, gradually the companies become larger in size. And it is not possible for the company to do all the activities alone. So ki kore? Belegok kam to kisuman kam di dia hoy, which are those companies which are specialized in those fields. Bujhisane bostuto kele collaborate kora hoy? Because tumar sob kam jodi nije koribole loy na, they will deviate from their main objective. Main task. Mane marketing, there are some specialized marketing teams, marketing companies who do the marketing for the companies. He company to nijor marketing nije nokore. They outsource it. Hunisa no crowdsourcing, outsourcing, BPOs, business processing. What are those? Those are collaborators. Hunisa to tumar BPOs bure ki kore? Business bur kisuman kam hiatok di dia hoy, right? So this is the main motive, because main motive for your collaboration. Collaboration korile ki hoy? They can be specific in their main task. Aru kam to hohos hoi jay, because these other collaborators, they might do those things in a better manner, right? The meaning is given here. Collaboration is a concept and method by which the teams can work together very successfully. Bringing together a team of experts across the business would seem to be the best practice in any situation. Here, the next slide is about 8 success factors for having strong collaboration skills. These things are there in your Harvard Business Review. Hunisa nohoy? Business Review. It is a kind of journal. Different people, they publish their papers, right? So business, it is a business journal. Tat tumar a topic to ase. You can go through it online. That explanation bor olop ke diya ase. For better understanding, you can go through the examples, okay? So tat hiyanti koise je there are certain practices which are very helpful to build up collaboration teams. Collaboration teams hobole karne ki factors amar dorkar hoy. What are the factors? And these factors are accepted worldwide because Harvard Business Review is a very renowned journal, right? So tat tumar diya ase, first is your signature relationship practices. Likhi loason. Likhi loa signature business practices to likhi loa. Write down. তোমালোকে জার্নালসৰ নাম শুনিছা নে? জার্নালসৰ নাম শুনিছা? এই যে অথৰ্ছবোৰে যে নিজৰ কিবা ৰিসাৰ্চ কৰি পালে যে পেপাৰবোৰ লিখি পালে there are very interesting facts or something যেটো ইহঁতি নিজৰ মানে পঢ়ি মেলি research kori kibata uliaise hoine, then what they do, they go for publication of their papers. To paper bur kot publish kore kisuman journals thake he tenekwa dhoroner eta ekhon journal hoy. Write down signature relationship practices. Write down companies top executives invest significantly in companies' top executives. Executives are the top managers. Top executives invest significantly in building B-U-I-L-D-I-N-G, in building and maintaining relationships throughout the organization. However, organization full stop, however, comma, the way they did varied, V-A-R-I-E-D, varied significantly. Full stop. The most collaborative, C-O-L-L-A-B-O-R-A-T-I-V-E, collaborative companies had something called signature practices dash di likha, practices that were memorable, comma, difficult for others to replicate, and particularly replicate, REPLICATE, difficult for others to replicate and particularly well suited, SUITED, well suited for their own, THEIR, for their own business environment, So signature relationship practices jitu koise, this is told about different companies after studying the behavior of the many companies. Bahut kita companies, around 200 companies or tumar data loi statistics study kora hoise. After that, these factors are being jotted down, right? So signature practices boli kole ki koise je jibur collaboration companies burar logot jibur collaboration kora hoy, there some very particular relationships are maintained between the companies and which are not easily, you cannot duplicate those relationships, how they maintain collaboration to korar khomoy jikhini relationships maintain kore between the different companies, those are very specific to that particular company. Ami etia amar saba example hisabe ami lobo paro, we have seen our prime minister, right, Narendra Modi ji, when he visits some different countries, jeta beleg countries teo visit kore, teo as a token of what, token of love from our country kiba ta gift kore no, dekhisa no, what he is doing, hetu ki korise teo, he is trying to build a good international relation with that different country, so that the other neighboring countries, they will also have a good feeling towards our country, they will also know our culture, right? They will have an idea about the culture of our country. Teor hekhini janar pisot teor aru olop inquisitiveness barhibo, he will want to know more about the traditions, the customs of the people. Karon tumalke mon korisa na, when he presents something to these people, কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ বস্তু গিফ্ট কৰে দেখিছানে? some traditional value থাকা হয়নে? কিছু পশমিনা শল দি দিব, কিছুমান মিনিয়েচাৰ পেইণ্টিং থাকে ন তোমাৰ ভোপাল সাইডৰ, ৰাজস্থান সাইডৰ, তেনেকুৱা পেইণ্টিংছ কিছুমান দি দিয়ে, ৰাইট? some মানে আকৌ আমি অসমলৈ আহিলে কি দেখো, গামোচা দিয়ে, জাপিটো দিব, ফিৰ that rhino, so that they will come to know about our culture. In this way, we are trying to build a good relationship with the neighboring countries or the neighboring states, right? And that is very specific. Ami janeke hetu kora hoyto beleg country teneke nokoribo pare, hoyne? Ete China nijor relationship to keneke maintain kore with other countries? How does he do? He will try, he keneke kore? Ki kore? China, how does he try to maintain its position? No, China, what he does? What does the country do to maintain its relationship? Financial, সাধাৰণতে চাবা financial, because they are financially sound, right? সিহঁতৰ তোমাৰ financial global marketত কি হয়? Financially they are very, ইণ্ডিয়াত কেতো বহুত ভাল পজিশনত আছে, হয় না? So they try to help the poorer countries financially. So this way they are trying to maintain a relationship, right? But then there are certain objectives behind it, right? No, they try to what? First they will try to help the poorer countries, then capture their market, then slowly their land. Tapsat laheke they will try to merge their land into its own, right? So nijor teneke organizations buroru specific kisuman practices thake which are very particular and that cannot be duplicated easily, because duplication nokoribo karno they will take certain measures. Jene ki thake organization burot duplication nohobo karne ki kore? Patent thake, trademarks thake, copyrights thake, right? So licenses thake. So these things they do so that duplication doesn't happen. Next is your role model of collaboration among executives. Role model of collaboration among executives means the executives, generally the top executives are the best collaborators, and when the top executives they take very good decisions while collaborating, these decisions are followed by the other subordinates and other different companies also. So they become the role models for others, right? Next is your establishment of gift culture in which the managers mentor the employees, right? Gift culture mane? No, gift culture is not gifting others. That is not called gift culture. Gift culture is where managers, they try to build a very good cordial relationships with others and become friendly and mentor them so that things can be done smoothly. Collaboration can be done smoothly, right? That is called your gift culture, not gifting. I don't know why. Next is your training in relationship skills. Training in relationship skills mane? Ki hobo? Any idea? To build a good relationship also, you need training. Like any example? When you think with example, things become clearer, right? Training in relationship skills mane? When you are collaborating with others, sometimes there arises some conflict or differences of opinion, right? So in that situation, how will you handle the situation? So henuka situation handle koribole training dia hoy, right? So that is called your training in relationship skills. Etia schools burat saba bachabure kiba badmasi kore, teachers communicate the things to the parents, but parents take it very otherwise. So the things needs to be communicated properly, right? So that the parents doesn't misunderstand the teacher, how to deal with the other party. So that is a kind of relationship skill, right? Next is your sense of community. Sense of community means when you are working as a team under collaboration, then you have to think about, you have to think like you are in the same community. Eketa objective boli dhoribo lagibo. The collaborating company and the company who is making the other company as a collaborator. They should have the same objective, right? Then only your organizational motive or the goal will be achieved. Next is your ambidextrous leaders. Mane, the leaders who are both good in building relationships as well as they are good in doing the task. They are also task oriented as well as relationship oriented. Duita kamote bhal. Kisuman manu okol kamot bhal thake kintu kotha kobo najane. They deal with their subordinates very rudely. So tenekwa nohoy. So collaboration hobo karne, effective hobo karne, the leaders should be or the managers should be ambidextrous. That means they should be good at taking decisions, making plans, and also how to deal with others. Next is your good use of heritage relationships. Heritage mane? Ki buja? Heritage. Azikali huni thakono heritage sites. Sob phale. Okamot ki ase? Heritage sites. Kamaikya ako Soraideo. Aru Indiat ki ase? Taj Mahal aru Bhimbetka caves hunisa Bhopalot ase je Bhimbetka caves, one of the oldest caves, heritage site hoy no ako Ajanta caves, Ellora caves, no Taj Mahal aru ki ase Sabage world map khon thake na. If you have an atlas with you when you are free when you have any free time, tat saba dhunia ke gute India world or enake sites for mention kora thake, and those specific tomar kihor karone famous hoy he site too. All these things are there. Bhal lage pohi pale, go through it. Use of heritage relationships. Heritage mane puroni. In organization, what will you say? Organizational khetrat ki hobo? That formal structure, that formal hierarchical structure jitu kono heritage, hetuke bujaise. Formal structure janege ekdam uport kun thakibo. Who will be at the top? CEO, tar tolot, directors, tapisat কোন থাকিব directors পিছত managers would থাকিব no level wise. So that is called your good use of heritage relationships. And when aru eta heritage relationships buli eto bujabo para tomalke people who have worked for a good span of their lifetime in the same organization, from those people you can learn more, right? Jibur kisuman manhue ekekhon organizationot kiman bosor ki bosor kaam kore no, they spend their entire lifetime till retirement in the same organization, so they know everything, the in and outs, the pros and cons of the organization, car behavior kenekwa, how to deal with those category of people who have short temper, he knows everything. So hey manukhinir pra ami hikibologia bahut thake, right? So we should make good use of those heritage relationships, right? Bujisa? Next is your role clarity and talk ambiguity. Role clarity is that everyone must know their particular job role. They should know what task they have to perform, what task they are assigned, and talk ambiguity mane? Ambiguous means kisuman words are tomar duta tinta meaning thake no, so when we talk we should talk in a non ambiguous manner. Ambiguous hole ki hobo duta tinta meaning thake, so that will create meaning. So when we talk it should be in a non ambiguous manner, right? Next is your 4 basic modes of collaboration. This is also there in your Harvard Business Review te sakibo. Tumalge kitabot tumalkor naam gita dia ase those persons who have given this model of collaboration. The persons' names are Gary P. Pisano and Robert Varganti. Yat ase swa, ekhinte ase. The second paragraph in your page 201. Remember the person's name who have proposed this model. And it is also said that collaboration is necessary because the way things are done in a smaller organization, the things do not work out the same way when the organization grows in size. Organization to dangor hoar loge loge jibur practices ami horu organization etat practice korislu, the same things doesn't work in the same way when the organization gets bigger. 10 ta manuok ami manage koribo parislu, everything we can do on our own. Their salaries we looked, ami nije salary di asilu, their grievances also we maintained on our own, but when the organization is maintaining around 20,000 people, then you cannot do things alone, right? So we need collaboration. Next, models of collaboration dia ase, where we see that participation can be open or closed. Efale soa tumalke participation tur kotha dia ase je open hobo pare ba closed hobo pare. That means participation is open buli kole ki hoy, everyone can, in general sense when we understand participation open hole everyone can participate. It is open to all. Sob all the sob buli kole kun hobo organization at kun who are the related to the organization, kun hobo pare, the stakeholders, the managers, the shareholders, the workers, then anyone who has a connection with the organization. Everyone can participate in an open system, right? Closed hole, there will be some select team or groups or members who will participate, right, in the decision making, in the problem solving process. Efale saba governance. Governance mane ki buja? How the people will be governed. Bujisa? It comes from the word government, right? Govern keneke bostu khini tumar hoi ase, right? Hierarchical is this, in this side we see that it is hierarchical and this is flat. Flat mane the governance is between the different members, and here hierarchical boli kole there will be a formal structure, right? So these are the 4 models of collaboration. First is your elite circle. Elite circle at ki hoy tumar, there will be a select group of participants who are chosen by the company. Company to at a group select koribo that will define the problem, and that group will also find the solution to the problem. Closed hoy no, closed hoy karne there will be a particular group of people, particular team eta thakibo. This, it is not open to all. At a so closed hoy na participation to, so there will be a certain group of participants who will find the problem and they will also find a solution to the problem. But when you see that the participation is open, tarmane there will be many people who will be who will be finding the solution to the problem. But since the governance is hierarchical, governance to hierarchical hua karne problem can be posted only by the company. Duita bostu factors sabo lagibo, duita factors yat sabo lagibo. Efale ase tumar participation, efale ase governance. Yat governance to hierarchical hua karne problem will be communicated by the company, solution will be given by anyone, any participant. Mane anyone jikunu manue tumar problem to solution to dibo pare, but the final selection of the solution will be done again by the company. Okay? Bujisa bostu tu enake milai saba tumalke efale participation to saba, efale governance to saba, tapisot bostu tu milai saba, right? Third is your innovation community. Yat ki hobo participation is open but governance is flat. That means when the participation is open, then anyone can define the problem and also find the solution to the problem, and also they can decide which solution to select. Bujisa? And the last one is your consortium. Consortium at ki hoy tumar participation is closed. Tarmane there will be like this one elite circle or nisna yato team thakibo. There will be a private group of participants or a select team that will select the problem, and they will also decide how to conduct the work and choose the solution, because there is no governance or formal structure nai. Okay? Bujisa? Difference to buji paisa? Go through it again. Okay? Ghorat ako ebar pohi saba. Examples ki hobo pare? Tumar eta company eta ase for innovation mall, I am saying you. There are some companies which manufacture t-shirts. Dekhisa noy? T-shirts are designs bor hiate jikhini company tor manu ase, what they do? They ask, they open source the problem. Problem to ki hoy? To find the design for the t-shirts. There is a company called threadless.com. Threadless.com to ki kore nijor t-shirts bor, they manufacture t-shirts. T-shirts are ite beleg designs lage. There should be innovation. So how is it possible for that particular company to find designs to so much t-shirts? No, noare no. Hekani hiati ki kore, they outsource their problem to different people, and teneke jeta problem to die 6 lakhs people, they came up with innovation designs of different designs for the t-shirts. So the things become easier, right? So when the participation is open ki hoy, we get solution from different areas, from different people. So innovation eta thake no, sobore ideas bor beleg, and when we club different ideas, we can generate new ideas, right? But problem to kot arise hoy? Shortlisting korte, right? Shortlisting korte problem hoy, because when there is a vast areas whom to select, right? That becomes difficult. Innovation community example dia ase kitabot tumar Linux open source software community, where the problem is also given by the company. Problem can be identified by anyone, and the solution can also be found out by anyone, and selection is also done by anyone, because there is no formal structure of governance and the participation is open, right? Next tumar elite circular ki diya ase example. LSE's hand-picked group of 200 plus design experts who develop new concepts for home products. So here at a company etar naam diya ase Alexi, jitur where home products pick up koribole tumar concept bor a select group e diye, right? And last is your consortium, where example is given about IBM. Next we have yet tumar advantage or disadvantage bor diya ase. The same things are given here. Ebar sai loba ghorat, advantages and disadvantage. And next we come to monitoring. What is monitoring? Class or monitor bonaisile ne kabak? Schoolot thakute? Any one of you who was the monitor of the class? Yes. So what did you do when you were a monitor? What did you do? Class sobe rules, regulations follow korise na nai saisa. Okay. You tried to monitor the behavior of others, right? So if others, they didn't do their homework, what did you do? You told to your class teacher, right? If someone is not being obedient in class, you report it. So that is an example of your monitoring during your school days. In organization also, monitoring needs to be done. Why? Why do we need monitoring in an organization? To keep things under regulation, right? One example of monitoring in organization. Supposed to monitor kore no? Who are coming on time to duty, kune 5 minute late hoise, kune daily regularly daily kune mane derike ahe, sai ar tar ki kore? Salary pa lahe lahe kati jabo. Tapsot when your salary slip comes, payment slip comes, and you compare with your friend, you see that you have got little pay cut. Okaman cut hoise kyo? Because you were regularly coming late, and there was a monitor who was monitoring your actions. What did you do in the organization during your office hours? Mane mane goi smoking. No? Phone is not allowed. You are keeping phones with yourself and ghorar kaam manage kori asa, and someone is monitoring the behavior. So in an organization, the actions are monitored. Why? So that organization nijor nohoy okomano luksan to nibisare. They try to make the maximum utilization of their resources, because they will not pay what? Pohisu no ami, the payment is always in accordance with the free, ki pohislo? Fair salary, hoy ne? Fair salary hobo lage hoy ne? So it should be in accordance with your work. But job to poar pisot, if you become lazy, job pai golu, and now jobor pa kune otrabo pare, derike ahim, hoy na government office burot. Ajikali sama tumar ki koy eta term eta asle mukhot mor phuta nai roba, okoman bhabile ahibo. Even you know the behavior of our prime ministers, the ministers, those are also monitored. Our actions lobo pare. Agote hetu concept to bahut besi purani nohoy, kintu even the behavior of jeneke organization at ami manhor behavior to ami monitor koru no, thik mote standards mote hoise ne nai. Similarly, when we select the government, amar government oru behavior bur monitor kora hoy. There are some systematic bodies, mon mukhot naam to ete phuta nai. Jodi monot pore moi next class at kom. So in this way, you can give the examples of monitoring. So monitoring or significance ki hoy? What are the significance of monitoring? It will help in better transparency and accountability. Better transparency kenege? Monitoring helps in better transparency and accountability. Because monitoring kora hoy, hekarne your behavior is kept under check. Right? Nohole to ji mon jay take kori thakiba no? Nedekha khomoyt. But how monitoring is there? Done. CCTV camera laga thake no? Ketia ahisa, ketia goisa, all these things. So when monitoring is done, you are made accountable for your actions. Accountable mane you are made responsible for your actions. Next is your monitoring helps. Is slide to aji khatam kori long ha. Nohole tumalgor thaki jabo mor eta class missu hoise no. Monitoring helps organization to detect problems early. Okay? Jane? Aji derike ahisa first day jodi moi tumak bujai nidiu, if I don't monitor your behavior today, Hodai kori, it will become habitual. You will become habitual or accustomed to that behavior. Monitoring ensures resources to be used efficiently. Nahale, officer, printing or kagos, application, lora schooler, nujwa leave application prepare kori asa, ghorar study materials prepare kori asa. So, monitoring helps in making the efficient use of resources. It helps the organization learn from their mistakes. You can understand the point. Next, monitoring improves in decision making. How? Give me some examples. Examples di jodi bhaba no tetya examples di jodi bhaba tetya hole things will become clearer. So how does monitoring helps in decision making? Simple je bhaba, I'm telling about your actions being monitored, right? So jetia tumalkor performance appraisal hoy no companies burat, jetia performance to sai pale based on your performance, some incentives are given at the year end, right? Who is the best performer of the company, like that, hoy ne? So if monitoring is done, then last jetia kak tumi reward to diba, who will get the best performer award. So the reward to diar khomot eta decision lobo lagibo no, so it helps in decision making, hoy ne? Teneke kothabur simple ke bhabiba. Next is it helps the organization to stay organized. How? Organized and focused hobole karone help kore. Next is monitoring helps the organize replicate the best programs and the projects. So kiba eta plan monitor kora hoise je what is the outcome of that plan. If that plan is successful, then that plan can be introduced again, hoy ne? Budget burot sabasun, when the government presents the budget at the কি মানে তোমাৰ নেক্সট ফাইনেন্সিয়েল ইয়াৰ ষ্টাৰ্ট হোৱাৰ আগতে বাজেটখন প্ৰিপেয়াৰ নকৰা নহয় জানো, ৰিলিজ নকৰে জানো? তাত চাবা some schemes of the government, some policies are repeated. যেনেকে কিছুমান স্বচ্ছ ভাৰত নহয়, তোমাৰ হ'বও পাৰে, স্বচ্ছ ভাৰতটো এতিয়াও চলি আছে নেকি? কিছুমান যে তোমাৰ গৰীব কল্যাণ যোজনাবোৰ চলি আছে ন, সেইবোৰ চাবাচোন আগৰ পৰাই চলি আহিছে কিছুমান, সেইবোৰ these are not discontinued because these are helping in elevating the poverty level of the people. So হেনেকে তোমাৰ monitoring কৰিলে তোমাৰ plansবোৰ আকৌ replicate কৰিব পাৰি. It encourages diversity of thought and opinion. How? I want you all to communicate so that মই অকলে কিমান কম, তোমালোকক ক'লে ভাল হয় ন, হয়নে? And your brain will also think and ঘৰত মনত পৰিব কোনো কথাবোৰ. It encourages diversity of thoughts and opinions. How? কি কৈছা? New ideas. Yes, it encourages diversity of thoughts and opinion. মই same example লৈছো. The person is repeatedly skipping some office hours, and what he is doing, office hours at কাম নকৰে, but he is doing office hours শেষ হোৱাৰ পিছত কাম কৰে. কিয়? So that he gets the benefit of overtime. And someone is keeping a check on him. কোনবাই চাই আছে কিন্তু এটো সদায় চলি আছে. So the next incentive plans should be made accordingly. So নতুন thoughts and opinions ভাবিব লাগিব না, নতুন brainstorming কৰিব লাগিব না, যে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ মানুহবোৰক কেনেকৈ আমি work hours at কাম কৰাব পাৰো, right? So in that way you can think of some examples and make the things clear. Okay, from the next slide I will teach you in the next class. Thank you everyone. Types of monitoring. In the next class I will also start with the next chapter, okay? Thank you. Yes.